Hey there, you ever look at someone who's achieved something incredible and just wonder how? How'd they do that? What's the secret sauce that turns a big dream into a real-life accomplishment? Well, today, we're going to unlock that very secret. So let's just dive right in with a big question. Think about anyone who's done something truly great. I mean, anyone, in any field, science, art, business, it doesn't matter. What is the one thing they all share?
You know, it's not just raw talent. It's not luck or even just passion. The real engine behind pretty much every meaningful accomplishment is one powerful and honestly often misunderstood word: discipline.
So first up, let's really frame discipline as the universal key that unlocks our potential no matter what it is we're trying to do.
And let's be honest, for a lot of us, when we hear the word discipline, our minds kind of jump to a few specific images, right? You picture the athlete just grinding through a brutal workout, or the soldier standing at perfect attention. And yeah, those are examples for sure, but that view is just way too narrow.
This whole idea is actually ancient and so much broader than we think. I mean, take this instruction from the Apostle Paul. The original Greek word he uses for train, get this, is where we get our word gymnasium. He's using this familiar image of an athlete's training to talk about spiritual growth. And that just shows you that, from the very beginning, discipline was about shaping the entire person.
Okay, so if it's more than just push-ups and boot camp, then what is true discipline? Let's try to build a better, more useful definition.
Now notice that the main focus here is on purpose. That is absolutely key. Discipline isn't just about punishment or restriction for no reason. It's a process of alignment. It's the consistent work you put in to become fit for the goal you want to reach.
And this process, it really has two sides to it, like a coin. On one side, you've got correction. That's about finding and fixing the weaknesses or the gaps that are holding you back. And on the other side, there's reinforcement. That's about taking what's already good and strong and making it even better. Real discipline needs both.
Okay, theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually plays out in a real life. It's time for a case study, and we're going to look at a man named Eugene Peterson.
Now, if you're not familiar with him, Eugene Peterson was a pastor, a scholar, and a really influential author. And his life is just a masterclass in the power of quiet, consistent, day in, day out discipline.
And what's so incredible is how holistic Peterson's discipline was. I mean, it covered every part of his life. He had his daily run for physical endurance. He constantly worked on his writing, which was his creative discipline. He studied ancient languages, which was this deep intellectual discipline. It was this complete lifestyle, all dedicated to being fit for his purpose.
For Peterson, this wasn't just a list of good habits. It was a core philosophy. People have called it his theology of discipline. He truly believed that this intentional, structured effort was a fundamental way to honor his purpose in his work.
So what was the payoff? What was the culmination of this whole life of effort? It was the creation of The Message, his famous translation of the Bible into contemporary, everyday English. A massive work like that doesn't just happen from a flash of inspiration. No way. It was the direct result of decades of discipline.
And all of this builds to what is, for me, the most beautiful and surprising part of this whole idea: the freedom of discipline. It sounds completely backward, doesn't it? I mean, the process of discipline, it feels like hardship. It feels like restriction. It's all about saying no to what's easy. But the result of all that hard work is the complete opposite. It's expanded capability. It's real freedom. Just think about Peterson again. Spending years and years studying dead languages might seem really limiting, but that discipline didn't trap him. It liberated him. By creating that structure, he freed up the mental energy and gained this incredible skill that allowed him to do something almost nobody else could.
So, the big question is, how do we apply this? Let's get practical. Now, discipline is a universal principle, but it can take on a really unique dimension inside a spiritual or faith-based context. So let's explore that as one powerful way to put this into practice.
You know, a common tension, especially in Christian circles, is this idea that human effort, discipline, is somehow the opposite of relying on God's grace. But what if that's a false choice? What if they're actually designed to work together, in partnership?
The author Elisabeth Elliot, she just reframed this perfectly. She said that grace isn't something passive, it's the power that fuels our discipline. So the idea isn't that you discipline yourself to earn grace, it's that you practice discipline because you already have it.
And these practices are sometimes called the disciplines of grace. You can think of them as the spiritual version of an athlete's training schedule.
Intentional, consistent things like prayer, study, worship, even solitude. These are the practical ways a person makes themselves fit for the purpose of a deeper faith.
The Apostle Paul brings this whole idea home right here. He says, look, physical discipline is good. It has some value, but spiritual discipline or godliness, well, that's on a whole other level. It pays off in every area of your life, both now and in the future.
And let's be totally clear, this stuff is not easy. The process is hard. That's why so many people give up. But the reward for those who stick with it isn't just success, it's excellence. It's that deep satisfaction of becoming who you are meant to be.
So this leaves us with one last question, and this one's for you. Forget about a total life overhaul. What is one small, manageable discipline you could start today that just might be the first step to unlocking your greatest potential?